Hello. Hello, we're live. I think. Yeah, cool. Now I just sit and wait for someone to. I wonder if I do this, and then all right. Well. Yo, I didn't think people would actually watch, to be honest. I don't know how I can get the stream because it's on his YouTube channel, right? So I don't really know how I can get both the stream up of his channel and the live stream up at the same time because I want to be able to read chats. What I'll probably do is watch the live stream on my phone, give commentary on that. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to show it because I don't want this stream taken down. In my thank you, where the hell did I put my? It's in my pocket. In my thank you video, I posted a 2-minute clip of a show I liked, and it got blocked worldwide. So I'm kind of done messing around with copyright. Hello. I don't know what that means. So how is everybody today? I have been incredibly busy trying to keep up with everything that's happened this past week. But yeah, I want to talk to people. I want to get to know my audience a little bit more. How is everybody? Sorry if I'm eating. I just haven't had time today, so hope you don't mind. Thank you. So the fight is supposed to start in 6 minutes, right? I haven't had much time to research this. All I know is that, yes, Reese's Ice Cream, exercise for cheat meals, shout out. But yeah, I haven't had much time to research what's going on. I thought, yeah, there it is. There's the live stream. So I've got it on my phone here, and you guys can kind of just watch along with me. I'll set it up like this, so it's propped up against my laptop, and we can all watch together. I'm turning off the live stream chat so I can focus on you guys. So how is everybody? Talk to me about your day. Talk to me about things you're interested in. This is the first time I've ever been able to really interact with my audience since I got my audience. I mean, I've gotten a few DMs on Instagram, but I want to know a little bit more about the people watching me. So talk to me, please. I know I can be funny. I just need something to bounce off of. The schizophrenia only carries you so far, you know? Is that annoying you guys, by the way? Can you hear the music? Would you prefer me to turn it down? Let me know. What are you training in? Just lifting or? Hey, yo, how you doing? Shout out to Yogic Boom. Hope I said that right. Can you guys hear the music from the live stream? Does that bother you, or are we okay? Hell yeah. You know what I really don't like? How much like nobody pays attention to boxing anymore. A couple months ago, Nadia Inoue made his U.S. debut, and he is an incredible boxer, one of my favorites. And that really should have been a huge deal, and nobody talked about it. Nobody knew who he was or what was going on. If you have the time to look up Nadia Inoue, look him up. Devastating liver punches. incredible power for, especially for someone so small. I'm pretty sure he won his first title fight, or like his first championship fight at like the 118-pound weight class, and apparently he's known as like this monster that can knock out. Actually, that is his ring name, the Monster, who is just has incredible punching power. So look him up. He's really precise and it's really good watching him. Do I have a TikTok? No, and I don't think I ever will. Music is fine for me here. It's okay. Perfect. Yeah, I know, right? It like in a way so cool. He like I don't know. I love his fighting style. I love power and precision. Like to me, boxing it's an art form. It's a mix of brutality and skill. You know, willpower and like precision and brutality. It's like this mix of savagery and elegance. And I think a lot of that gets encompassed in a way, because you have a lot of boxers. Like some boxers are more known for the elegance. Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You have a lot of people who are a little bit more known for their brutality, like Roberto Duran. I love Duran, by the way. But like to me, the perfect a true champion is this combination of everything. You have like someone who can really turn it on when he needs to, someone who really can kind of dance when he needs to. I'm nowhere even near close to that, but I'm still, we improve every day. Exactly. No, I love, and kudos to the Australian that fought him. He put up a good fight, but also that uppercut. I think it was an uppercut where he like pulled a Prince Nassim and just kind of knocked him out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, same. Well, as many of you will know, we are just 9 months away from what's being billed as the heaviest
9 months,
in history. Britain's Eddie Hall, world's strongest man from 2017, takes on Ireland's Thor, Julius Bjornsson, the man who took that crown the following year. The two of them,
honestly speaking, hold on. I don't need to hear my own voice. So let me know if I start yelling, but I'm going to quickly run, grab my earphone adapter so I can plug. Actually,
you call him Big Stevie, but he isn't going to be the big man in there tonight, is he? No, I call him Big Stevie. I call everybody big. Everybody's bigger than me, but Stevie is dwarfed in this fight, which is a strange sight for me. I actually bumped into Thor once, and we kind of got squashed in between trying to get out of a door. He's a monster of a man.
So who do you guys think is going to win? I don't know, spoilers if you already know, but I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be really interesting. You guys got who's betting money on who on this fight? I haven't been paying attention at all, so I don't know the profile of either of these fighters. I've kind of been paying attention to Thor, but not a whole lot.
Heavyweight fighter, you were in with some really big guys over the years, but just put it into words. How big and how imposing is this man?
He's unbelievable. He's huge. I was looking at his calves, and I'm not kidding, this is real, are the same as my thighs. And my thighs are pretty big thighs. So if you have a guy with calves just like that, it's insanity. And then during the show, we were working together. He neck pressed a lady up, and I said, wow, that was easy. How many pounds can you do? It's all about 440 pounds. So, that Steven says that it might look like Hulk Hogan versus Rocky. That might happen today.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, maybe.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. That'd be an interesting fight.
Carl, everyone talks about the weight differential and how slow they expect Thor to be, but of course he was a man that walked around at 200 kilos, over 400 pounds for most of his career.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the stamina here, because like Eddie Hall talks a lot, or like a lot of people have talked about how Eddie Hall is a lot more agile than Thor. However, I'm really interested to see, because I've been sort of following how good like their training, and while Eddie Hall definitely looks a lot more explosive, he definitely sacrifices a lot of defense. His hands are very low, whereas Thor seems a lot more slow and steady. He's been like at first he was terrible, but he's been steadily getting better, and his defense is a lot better than Eddie's. So it'll be really interesting to see not only how well his defense holds up, but how well his stamina holds up too, because everybody's talking about what it's going to be like for stamina here. I have no clue. Because we only see what they want us to see, right? So they could be dying. Like, they could be gassing out after every clip they show us, but they make it look like they're super fighters. We don't know yet, right? It's all about... sorry, I just gotta... message. It's all about what they want us to show. So the ring will prove what's real and what isn't, right? We'll get to figure out who's what's BS and what is true. And then from this, I can probably assess a little bit more who might win the Eddie Hall versus Thor fight. Because so far, my money's on Eddie. But I've been seeing steady improvement with Thor, so I don't know. I don't really know. It starts now. Well, it started now, but they're more just talking about stuff. Like the fights haven't started yet. My money was on Eddie at the start. I haven't looked into stuff very much at all. Anthony Marsoni? That's Italian, right? And did I say it right? I speak a couple languages, but I'm not the brightest. But yeah, I was originally going for Eddie because he had that real fire in his eyes when he was training. Whenever I saw Thor training, it always seemed a little half-assed, but he has made some steady improvements. So I'm not entirely sure. French-Italian. I speak French. Anyone else speak a different language? Anyone else speak French? D'autres personnes ici qui parlent le français? S'il y a des personnes qui peuvent me comprendre présentement? Marconi. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I mean. It's either it's either the C or the I, or this like the S sound or the K sound. I have no idea what a C or the I, but yeah. So, cool. Hablo un poco español. Hace mucho tiempo que yo no habla la lengua. Puedo tener una conversación si necesito, pero no soy. No tengo una. I don't have a solid grasp of the language. Puedo tener una conversación si necesito, pero it's iffy. I have to practice. I can speak English and French fluently. I can speak conversational Spanish. Drop me off in any Hispanic country, and I'll probably be able to, figure it out. But like a week in, and then I've taken 2 semesters of German, and I would really like to learn. I'd really like to learn German a little bit more. But time is something that we all lack, so. Merci. Ça fait plusieurs années que je parle le français. I went to a French university, and I'm currently applying to a French university. So French is my second language, so everything I've been speaking French as a second language since I was in like kindergarten. I can't hear anything they're saying about the fight, by the way. So if there's anything interesting that comes on, I turn the volume way down. If you want me to kind of comment on what they're saying about the fights, I'm going to have to run and grab my wireless earphones because my phone is dying. Yeah. I took... do any of you know what the IB is? The International Baccalaureate? Anyway, for any of you those that don't know, it's like, okay, cool, yeah, it's for those that don't, it's like the most advanced course you can take. It started out as a course for military children, so they could keep the same curriculum wherever they would move, but it slowly evolved into the like the super advanced course where you would be taking university level courses in grade 12, and I went through that in French, so I've got a decent grasp of the language. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. Grammar and syntax and all that really still confuses me. And any native French speaker would probably rip me to shreds because I've been told a lot that my sentence structure and the way I formulate phrases is based on English because, again, it's my first language. But I think I'm decent enough to be able to pass for a Frenchie. That'd be interesting if you guys heard that. Hello, Stanford Chen. He said they might have actually more exhibition fights before the Eddie fight, which will be good. Perfect training. Nothing beats being in the ring when it comes to training. Very good. It tastes very good. It's Nick's Reese's ice cream. But, okay, I want to listen to this.
Live in Iceland, Reykjavik, and I was a professional strongman. Now I'm competing in boxing as an amateur. I want to get the experience in. I want to get the ring experience.
Nothing beats ring experience.
The adrenaline rush that you get before competing.
Yes, I plan to make a video on that at some point. The worst part of a fight is the 10 minutes before the fight starts. Yeah, I know, right? I hit it last night. It's crazy. I can't wait until 1,000 subs. I am not.
September. So I want to do this 3 times.
Hold on.
Hopefully 3 times if I can.
3 times. We can do this 2 more times.
September. I'd rather get beat here than in September. In September, we're going to knock someone out. Yeah, I mean, Steven is I like Steven. He's a cool guy. A tough guy. This is exhibition.
Yeah, I really hope it hit 1K real soon. I'm not making another thank you video. That first thank you video was emotional enough for a while, especially considering the fact that I think I'm going to hit 1K relatively soon. So it's not going to be as much of an emotional punch as it was when I made that other thank you video. But I do plan to have another milestone video, obviously.
More exciting. It's going to help me in the long run. It's going to, having the crowd there, knowing that there are thousands, millions, hopefully, people watching is going to be, it's going to...
The crowd is a real interesting thing to talk about because after the fight, getting your hand raised and having the crowd cheer your name is one of the best feelings in the world. Nothing matches it to me, especially just because it compounds on everything, especially if you win. It's amazing. Even getting 500 plus subscribers is nothing compared to the feeling of the ring. The ring for me is when I feel alive. But when you're fighting, the crowd disappears. There's nobody but you and the other person. It's such an interesting feeling to describe. Will I ever post any boxing beginner workouts? I can. The problem is I don't have a lot of space right now. I just moved, as I've mentioned in a few videos, which means that there's still a lot of stuff that's left unfinished. I have to still kind of refurnish stuff. I want to... I'm going to turn Thor down here a little bit because it's a little distracting. I want to redecorate certain places. I want to kind of set up my basement to be more of a gym. It is a gym. I have my heavy bag downstairs. Actually, the heavy bag was the first thing I set up when I moved in. I set up my heavy bag before I set up my bed. I was sleeping in the basement on a mattress on the floor, but I had my heavy bag set up. And I slept like that for about 2 weeks before I finally set up my bed. This is actually my bed. It folds into a couch, so... But what I wanted to do was I wanted to get my my national silver medal and hang it right there in between the Megalobox poster and the YouTube callouts bulletin board. But I just can't seem to find it. I have no idea where the hell we put it. And because it's winter outside right now, it's not like I can just pull out all the boxes, dump everything out in my yard and start looking. So when I will post those workouts, the answer will be when I get space. I do have notes planned for how to throw the jab, how to throw the cross, and stuff like that. But the problem is I need a little bit better equipment and some help filming. So once I get those 2 things, the equipment is actually something I already have. I don't know if you guys have noticed with my last 2 videos, but definitely the audio, and I noticed the audio and video quality go way up. I bought a camcorder and a tripod and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm also going to try and buy a microphone that isn't this Yeti here because this thing is hard to kind of move around. I want something a little bit more mobile. But once I can recruit a little bit more better equipment and a little bit more friends and people, I will definitely start doing boxing beginner workouts, even boxing, how-tos and stuff like that. So, by the way, if there's anything else you guys want to suggest from me, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. The next couple of weeks might be a bit difficult for me. Just simply due to the fact that I am currently applying to university again. So there may be certain tests I need to take and stuff. So the videos I put out, if I put out any at all, will be a lot shorter, a lot easier to edit and stuff like that. Because obviously I need to put a lot more time into my schooling. It shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty sure the only tests I need to take are interview type test to test my level of French, as well as a written test. But I would like to study a little bit for the written test. So excuse me, if I can do that, then yeah, that'll be that. I would love to train with you one day too. It'd be really cool. Again, I do plan to set up that online coaching business at some point. I want to set up the Patreon. I'm trying to set up a Venmo account so people can donate to me when we do these streams and stuff. Because obviously I'm not in the YouTube partnership program. How-tos for boxing series would be great. Yeah, I do plan to do that. The series, for any of you guys who know Ashtano Joe, is going to be named after that. The series is going to be called For the Sake of Tomorrow. And it'll be just For the Sake of Tomorrow, number 1, the jab. Number 2, the cross, and we'll keep going from there. If you want to actually, I can show you. I actually have the first 2 episodes planned out in bulletin points. But the problem with this, see here, For the Sake of Tomorrow, number 1, the jab. So you can kind of see in this notebook here that I've written out the bulletin points of what I'm going to do. Everything from like what I want to say to the homework that I'm going to give. But hey, Lucas, hey, how you doing? But the problem with this is that I have to write out a script, and when I write out a script, I want to make sure it goes well, which means that I am going to be writing out multiple versions of the script. In fact, I think for any of you guys who watched my You Can't Punch Yet video, I will show you, is it this? Do I have it? So I had another version of it, but this was like the 4th or 5th revision of the script for that video. And you can even tell here that I decided to cut out a big chunk of the intro and rewrite certain things. So when I get perfect and then finally actually film them. So that's why I haven't really done any boxing tutorials. By the way, Nicholas Blondo, I saw what you said. I saw it. Don't think that you can fucking hide from me with that retracted message. I don't care. Say what you want, but I saw it. But yeah, no, that's why I haven't put out much boxing stuff, is because if I'm going to put out information, I want it to be good quality, concise information, and I just don't have the means to make a video that I think would be worthwhile watching at this point. How old am I? 21. I am 21 years old. I know I look like I'm 12. You should have seen me when I was 12. All right, we got a walk going on. I don't know who's going, but something's going. Is this just the fight? Is this just the fight? Is there going to be undercards, or is it just Stephen Ward versus Thor?
I think, Carl, that was an opportunity he couldn't really afford to turn down, but ultimately he was really starting to struggle with the weight at that point. So much fresher, so much fuller as a professional cruiserweight now, and this is the point in his career that I know you believe will see the best of Big Stevie Ward. Yeah, I believe so. I think he grew out of light heavyweight a long time ago.
Boxing? Making a channel is something I've always wanted to do. So if you watch my thank you video, it's kind of like I talked to...
suits him, I think, and I think this is going to bring it the best in him.
Interesting. Okay, so I think it is just the main event, so this shouldn't be too long of the live stream. I'm going into it raw. I have no idea what's going on, who won, or how things went. So this is pure raw commentary. As for what made me get into boxing, I wanted to compete. I was picked on a lot as a kid, so at 5 years old, I went into karate. I fell in love with it, did Muay Thai for a while, and then at 10 years old, wanted to compete. No amateur Muay Thai. So you can't turn pro at 10 years old. So I switched over to Olympic-style boxing and have been competing in that ever since. There's more to it, but I can make a full video on how I got into fighting. I've been fighting for 16 years now. That's over 3/4 of my life. Has any of you guys here watched the fight yet? Do you guys know what happens? Don't tell me if you did, because I do want to kind of go in raw. But have any of you already seen the fights or the highlights or know the outcome?
star in the world of strongman. BJONSON was top of the podium in 2018, having finished runner-up on 3 occasions, and 3rd place on 3 occasions on the podium for 9 straight years. The big Icelander turned his attention in 2020.
I'm really interested to see how this weight difference works, because I don't think weight is as big of a deciding factor as people make it out to be. Granted, Thor is an extreme. Like, I'm not saying if you put, you know, a bantamweight up against a heavyweight, weight isn't going to make a difference. But I find in fighting in general, at least in my life, weight is one advantage among many. And it really only comes into play if 2 fighters are of equal skill. So if you have someone who, you have 2 fighters who are equal in skill, stamina, endurance, and all that, the one who has a little bit of weight on the other guy will have an advantage, but it's not this be-all, end-all, make or break like people make it out to be. And I don't think height is an advantage. I hate when people say height advantage, because height doesn't change. Height isn't an advantage if you don't know how to use it. How tall or how short you are, it just changes how you fight. It doesn't really matter if you're tall or short. Again, I'm national silver medalist, should have been national gold medalist. I was robbed, and I will hold on to that till the day I die. But anyway, yeah, national silver medalist. I'm 5'7". I'm short as hell. If you watch the highlight, are you going, oh, thoughts on making Megalobox 2? Do you think they should have just left it there? No, I am excited about Megalobox 2. In fact, I bought this damn near $100 in celebration of Megalobox 2. I celebrated when I heard about Megalobox 2. I cannot wait until that comes out. Thank you very much. I also love these pajamas. They're incredibly comfortable. Small secret. Whenever I film a video, I am usually in some form of pajama bottoms because you only see me from the waist up. I'm interested to see what style will play. Exactly. If I were Thor, I'd say he's a southpaw too, so use the jab. He should be more heavy on the back foot, throwing jabs like this. But again, we'll see what happens.
Up anywhere from up there is good. Punch the back of the head, no rabbit punches. Touch him up, keep it clean. Good luck. Good luck, says referee Shah. Says good luck all round. July, make some noise. It's Northern Ireland against Iceland. It is Thor against War.
All right. The first thing I'd say is to Thor to get his elbows in. His arms are way too far out. He's throwing hands way too wildly. You can tell which one of these two has more experience. Stiff jab there on the part of Thor. The hell yeah. Lefty or righty? I'm right-handed. Yeah, see, Thor, you can tell Thor's inexperienced because he's trying to set up a massive overhand. He's coming in like this, pulling his arm back. Ethan's in the chat. Hey, Ethan, how you doing? Yeah, he's really trying to cock the punch and set up this. Yeah, like he's way too loopy. See, and that's the thing is that like he looks good on the bag, but that's the bag. The second you step into the ring, it's something completely different. Anyone who stepped into the ring understands because the bag is different from sparring, and sparring is different from the ring.
I think he's doing great. Normally, when you see somebody fight for the very first time, they just go all out because they don't know about control yet. But what he's doing, moving backwards, that was a very smart thing to do.
That is a very good point, too. Yeah, like a lot of people go super aggro in their first fight. I was one of them because they're nervous and they want to kind of get out all that aggression. They want to win. But Thor's taking it nice and slow. It's just I wish he would stop doing this. He's a southpaw, so I wish he would stop doing this. That was a nice slip on the part of Ward. Ward needs to. like me, infighting is my specialty, so I wouldn't be clinching if I was Ward. I would get in close, smother Thor's punches because he's got long arms, and go with uppercuts, shovel hooks, and body shots. I'd be down for a collab with Ethan, but he's really busy. He's got a lot of videos going down, so I'm not sure. It's really more up to what he has planned. I've got other collabs, though, on the horizon with a few other YouTubers.
BJONSON does commit, just one where he's just trying to set some traps for full counters.
Exactly. No, yeah. Ooh, he just ate a nice overhand. Thor did.
Holding the shots well so far.
Yeah, Stevie's been a bit.
See, another thing too that I don't like that Thor is doing is, and this is something a lot of beginners do, when you try to parry a punch, you only want to move about this much, right? Excuse me. If you watch me, I'll bust stance because Thor's southpaw. You only want to move about this much, but Thor is not only overextending his parry, but reaching out, which allows him to be open. It's why he caught that overhand earlier on in the round.
Instead of punching in the underdog, he started striking and pulling his punches. So he listens well to instructions.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that's what you have to do as a fight, as a heavier fighter, or as a taller fighter. I was short. I get down really low, and the tall guys would literally just stand over me and do this, and just put their body weight on me. The way you get people off you like that is you shoulder check them. You go down and then up and do a bit of a shoulder check, and they'll push them back onto the ropes. But actually, I'll slide back so maybe I can give you a better look. So yeah, so like let's say someone's leaning on me. The way you get them off is you go down and then up, and you shoulder check them off you. Depending on the ref, you can get penalized for that. I did a few times, no shoulder checks, but most of the time they let it slide.
Stevie can take a hit. I mean, he connected with the left hand there in the fight, and he didn't even flinch.
Yeah, I remember you saying you want to expend as little effort as well. Yes. Energy in the ring is a limited resource, and you will run out of it. So everything you do needs to be done with a purpose. Everything, move with purpose. That was one of the best pieces of boxing advice ever given to me. Because again, energy is a very limited resource. When you choose to expend energy, you want to make sure that it's you're doing it for a reason. Nice slip on the part of Ward. Good double jab. Yeah, like I feel like Ward's being overly cautious. If Ward was a little bit more aggressive, I feel like he could. I don't know if Ward is trying to really beat Thor or if Ward is scared of Thor's power, which could obviously be the case. Thor is a powerhouse. But I feel like if Ward was willing to just stand toe-to-toe and just kind of not slug it out, but kind of get in close, which is what he needs to do, he could knock Thor out. Because again, right now they're just kind of pawing at each other with jabs. What Ward needs to do is throw a jab out and then fire out and get in close. Oh, he just got knocked down. What? He got hit in the back of the shoulder. I guess maybe that just pushed him down, is my guess. Because again, he's getting hit by one of the world's strongest men. Yeah, see, like what Ward is doing right now is what was told to me, stepping back into punches. You don't want to step back when fighting a taller guy because of their reach and their range to fight you. What you actually want to do is step forward and smother Thor's punches. You want to get your hands up, and when Thor goes to throw a punch, step forward, take it on the arms, and stop Thor's punch right about here. There's no power here. All the power in a punch comes from the snap at the end. So if you stop Thor's punch about here, it'll have nothing in it. And then you him to make it so that he can't use his long arms, and then you go hell on the body. Don't headhunt. Yeah, Thor's swinging wildly. If I was Thor's coach, I'd tell him to get his hands tighter and throw more straights. Titan weight? I've never heard of that. Is that what they're calling this? So I know there's because it goes to heavyweight, and then there's super heavyweight, which is what Thor and Eddie would fall into. I'm pretty sure, at least. I could be wrong. I'm going off the top of my head. I guess if Steven just tries to go for a long fight, he can win. Is it? Yeah, exactly. Like this, and this isn't a long fight. This is 3 3-minute rounds. It's a sprint. If you want to win this, you have to continuously be active. You can't just go slow. Did Gigi reach out to you after the whole video you posted? No, I actually reached out to her before I posted the video. The picture I sent, the picture of her I have on my thumbnail was one she gave me. We were supposed to talk a little bit more in video chat and whatever, just kind of get to know each other because I was reaching out, again, trying to network, but that ultimately never happened. I don't know if we ever will. She seems really busy doing whatever the hell she's doing. So whether that happens or not, I'm not sure. But, yeah. I wouldn't be against, doing some sort of collab with her or anything, or even just getting to know her, talk to her. I want to make more friends in the YouTube space and reach out to people. Some people have reached out to me already, which is great. I'm just down to have a good time, honestly. Like, do you watch that slow-mo? Thor just going in like this. He's not even really throwing punches. He's throwing slaps. He's just kind of... Oh. He's just kind of throwing slaps, which, again, I would say more power, turn that hook over. Thoughts on Remington James? I don't really care. I think he's entertaining. I ultimately think he's... his persona is the most fake out of everybody in the anabolic community. But he's successful, and I don't have time or energy to waste on someone I don't like or care about. So he does his thing. If something egregious happens, I might, turn my head, but ultimately it's not worth my time. You might hear my more thoughts on Remington James actually in the podcast, because I'm filming that today after this live stream with everybody. And I think we started having talks about people. I think one of our subjects is talks about people in the anabolic community. So, if Remington James comes up, you'll get to hear what I think of Remington James as well as everybody else's thoughts on the guy. But ultimately, yeah, I don't really give a shit. Yeah, like, look at that. He's not even throwing punches. He's just kind of slapping. How are you scoring it so far? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It's like, if I'd say who's winning, I'd probably give it to Ward. They're both, like, I don't know, because it's clear that Ward is scared of Thor, and Thor is definitely more aggressive, but in terms of overall skill, Ward is clearly the better fighter. On the topic of never wanting to waste energy, how do you explain that one guy we talked about in the DMs? Can't remember his name, the one who danced around a lot, that is sort of an anomaly. Oh, you mean Emmanuel Augustus. Or alternatively, Prince Nassim Hamed. How do I explain those guys? They make it work. That's kind of how things work. Nothing in boxing is really wrong if you can make it work. There's things that I wouldn't recommend beginners do, but if it works for you, it works for you. And obviously, Emmanuel Augustus and Prince Nassim were able to make things that shouldn't work for them. Any of you who know who those people are know what I'm talking about. If not, look them up. Again, that's Emmanuel Augustus and Prince Nassim Hamed. Yeah, see, like, I'd be giving it... I'm giving it to... I'd probably give this fight to Ward. Although he isn't always the aggressor, he seems to kind of always be the one in control. I feel like he could land at will if he really wanted to.
Just made BJONSON fall short. I think he's hurt the big man there. Just pushing it back onto the ropes, working away to the body.
Yeah, see, like, Thor doesn't really know what to do here. He's just kind of clinching and swinging wildly. I'd probably give this, like, it's a close fight. It's a very close fight. But just because I really admire boxing. See, like, look at that. He got this punch there. Like, when Thor throws that, like, he doesn't... Thor obviously doesn't have a good gauge of distance yet. He needs to do a little bit more sparring. Ward basically just took him into the ropes there. And that is a viable strategy. It's to just bull rush the guy. I think Ward should be putting on a lot more pressure because I think this is the last round. The winner of this final round, he'll leave an impression, and I think the fight's over already. So, like, yeah, if I was Ward, I would have sprint, go, get him. You only have 3 minutes, 3 3-minute rounds. If you lose one of the other rounds, it's a tie, right? So you're going into the third round. If you won round 1, he won round 2. You have this round to prove that you are the winner of the fight. Give it. It's 3 minutes.
But considering this is the big guy's first fight, I think they should be pretty pleased with how that went.
I would too. I think, like, again, he's not amazing, but I think it would be, I'd be pleased if I was Thor and his team. He did pretty good. It seemed like he was able to remain calm and not break down and panic under pressure, which is what a lot of people do during their first fight. We're hitting a commercial break now, I think, so I'm just kind of waiting to see. Do they announce a winner? Do any of you guys know? Thank you all for showing up, by the way. I didn't expect really anyone to show up. I expected to have maybe like 2 or 3 people and then have them leave because, who wanted to watch the fight with me. But no, it's really cool having you guys here. It's been a fun time. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how to fix that. Maybe your internet? Lag on my stream or lag on Thor's stream?
So are you guys doing all of this just for some theater?
I think it's the experience with competing in what's strongest man that's helping keep him calm. Yeah, that's probably true. A lot of, if you're an elite level athlete, you know how to. There is obviously going to be a ton of transferable skills. I would always take that to me whenever competing anywhere or doing anything that stressed me out. It's just my experience in boxing. You've gone up against worse than this before. You can get through this. Same thing with taking like an exam in university or something. It's like you've handled more stressful situations than this before. Keep it together. Thor's looking good for his weight and everything. He's looking pretty lean, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, one final time, put your hands together for the feature fight of the night. Stephen Ward and Heather Bronson.
Okay, so yeah, they don't announce a winner.
So no winners, no losers in that.
Yeah, if I were to score the fight, I would give it probably. I don't know. I don't know. This is one of those fights that's really just kind of a coin toss. Because in boxing, it's scored on a 10-point must system. And the 10-point must is obviously the winner must get 10 points. If the round is close, a loser gets 9 points, right? And then if you get something like a down or a slip or a knock, whatever, standing 8, it'll be a 10-8 round. All of these were obviously 9-10 rounds. It's just who you think won at this point would really be what your preferences are when you want to see your boxing, because there's things like ring dominance, aggression, display of skill, punches thrown, punches landed, punches slipped, etc. So it really is up to the individual judge on who would actually win. I'd probably give it to Ward, but again, it's kind of a coin toss. And if somebody gave it to Thor, I would not, say they're wrong necessarily. It was a very, very close fight. It's not like one overly dominated the other.
For making this happen, and also thanks Steve. That guy is unbelievable for how he has. I doubt that many people would want to step into a ring with a guy that weighs almost half more than he does. That's
very true. Yeah, give Stephen Ward a round of applause for being brave enough to step into the ring with Thor. Not a lot of people would do that. I would. He would punch me into tomorrow, most likely, but I'd do it. In terms of skill, Thor or KSI? Oh, God. Jeez, man. You're going to hit me with that? Both of them aren't great. I gotta go head to the gym, but dope live stream, man. Hope to see more in the future. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. And there definitely will be more. This was kind of a test to see how things go. I think this was a lot of fun. I feel really comfortable in front of the camera, and I just kind of enjoy doing this. So definitely there will be more. But yeah, in terms of skill, Thor or KSI? Oh God. Solely due to the fact that he does what he needs to do a little bit better than Eddie. or than Eddie, than KSI. KSI is a pressure fighter like me. He needs to get in, kind of rush you. But in order to be a good pressure fighter, especially a good counter-punching pressure fighter, you need to have a really good defense. You need to know distance and everything like that. Whereas with Thor being taller, he can kind of stay back and use the jab at his because he's got long arms, and he's very similar to Nate Robinson. And so just in terms of, they're both not the best, but I think Thor was able to do what he needed to do just a little bit better than KSI. Not, to be fair, standing back and throwing the jab is a little bit easier than trying to rush in. But to also be fair, Thor was also fighting a much more experienced opponent. So again,
just talk the sport of hitting and not getting hit, and that's all very well. But when he's in the ring with Thor, and if he hasn't been to that, it could be a shock for him.
Unfortunately, he needs to know what it's like to get punched in the face, punched in the body, and I don't know if that's the right approach, fam. I think that.
Okay, so it might just be the stream on your end then, because if Refreshing It fixed it, then yeah, it might be just the stream on your end. Because for me, everything seems to be rolling fine. I'm watching myself on the like the feedback cam, and it's matching my movements perfectly. So it might just be you. I'll look into it though. Again, this is just kind of a test run of what we can expect from these types of streams. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those exhibition fights, because then we can also see the progression of how he handles himself in the ring. Like, this is the first time he's ever stepped in. Let's see how he looks after his third fight, because that there can be a big difference in skill in terms of stuff like that as things go on. So. All right, so the stream is over now. I think I'm going to close off my stream too. I think this was a success. I think this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. And I definitely plan to do more in the future. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for showing up. I hope you had fun, and I hope you're looking forward to more. I hope you're as excited for more of this stuff as I am. But until then, until the next stream or video, I'm not dead yet. And if you aren't either, there's always a tomorrow waiting for you.